Life will sometimes call on you after years or months of being deep in thought, of pondering, of existential crises, of suffering, or of feeling, realizing that you're meant for more, that there's more to your life than whatever you got yourself stuck in at the time. And then you wake up one day with that intuitive idea, with that vision for the future, and you realize that's it. That's what's meant for me. That's why I've been feeling this way all along. That's it. I've been called and I know it. And you realize that's your future. But then you take this intuitive idea and you put it inside your head and you shake it so hard. You mold it. You apply your intellect, you apply your logic, you apply your emotions, you apply your background, your agenda, your programming to that idea, which was supposed to be just an intuitive idea. And you draw out the perfect path for it. You set a plan in place the best way you see possible. You set the best plan from your perspective in place. That's the fastest way. That's the easiest way. That's the way that suits my ego the most. That's the way that works for my survival mechanism, for my coping mechanisms. And you set it in place and you're locked in. That's it. You're committed. You're gonna get there one way or another. And you work yourself out. You tire yourself out getting there. You spend the next 10 years, 20 years, or less, 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, trying to get there, but you don't. But it does not happen. But you get nowhere. And that's because in this scenario, under this condition, what you're seeking is not seeking you back. And if you're here and you're watching this, and you've been on that pursuit for a decade or over 20 years or 30 years or your entire life, then know that it's okay. Then know that it's not a problem. Then know that your journey is unique to you. And you probably needed that specific journey more than anything else. That was the best way for you to get to where you are now, to get here and who you are now. You're loved and you realize and you know that there's more to life than all of this. Then you are the infinite creator, and it was all working in your favor. And that makes it lovely and that makes you loving. So if it's taken you that long or even longer, your whole life, know that it's alright. Know that you're still good. Know that your experience is tailored to your preferences, to whatever would work for you. And it was just preparing you, because if you received something before you're ready for it, it would destroy you. It could destroy you. It could jeopardize your entire life. And that's how it worked out the best for you. You're still loved and cared for, and it's gonna happen now. After you apply this, after you do this. And if it's been less for you, if it's been only 1 or 2 years, then that's the time. It's time to let go of what's been blocking it, which is your conditions to it. We took that intuitive idea and we applied all sorts of external things, of alien technology to that intuitive idea, which was received from source, which was received from the divine, from God, through that collective energy that has the best of the planet, that has the best of existence and its top priority. You were called by the source that's leading us to ascension, that's calling everyone for ascension, the collective ascension, to raise our collective frequency. But then you took it and you applied whatever extraterrestrial idea into that thing, thoughts, plans, and that's how you tainted it, and that's why it's not seeking you back, because you are not sought when you're putting conditions and limitations on everyone. Because the more conditions and limitations you put on God, on the divine, on life, on the universe, the more you are putting them on yourself. Think about this for a second. If someone is getting you gifts every now and then, and whenever they get you a gift, you're going like, you go like, well, that's nice and everything, but I'm not very confident. I don't trust it in this specific image. How about we add this to it? How about you go and get me that thing with it? How about you ask them to remove this part of it? How about you tell them to change its shape or to change the way it's being used? Because I'm afraid of using it that way, because I don't feel comfortable using it in that specific way or making use of it in whatever way. One time it's gonna be alright, 2 times it's gonna be fine, 3 times it's okay, But if you're doing this the whole time, that person is gonna get fed up and they won't want to get you any gifts anymore, and you sever that connection. After one time and another time and another time, that connection is severed. Perhaps you're even grateful. It's not that you're not grateful, but it's harder to be grateful under that circumstances. And so probably you were not grateful as well. You're not grateful for that thing. And so when you're showing no gratitude to life, when you're showing always making demands and conditions and limitations, well, I want that thing. Yeah, you got me that thing. It's good and everything, but I want it to look a little bit better. And here is how you make it a little bit better. Eventually, it's a toxic relationship and it does not match, and there is no vibrational alignment. There is no energetic alignment. You're not on the same frequency of that thing, of receiving. You're not opening yourself. You're blocking yourself, and that's why it stops seeking you back. The more of that you do, the less your intuition is going to be severed, the less your connection is going to be there, the more your intuition is going to be severed, because eventually you're going to stop even receiving those intuitive ideas, because you're so locked in whatever path you keep drawing on out, you keep planning. Then you're good on yourself. Then you're saying that I don't want life's hell. I don't want those ideas. I can make them better. I can look at them better. I can come up with better ideas, with better plans, with whole different paths that are better for me, and I know that. But then you ask God, you ask the divine, you ask life to do this, to get you this, to align you, and you try to align, but then when it gets it to you, you reject it, and you put all that much resistance on it that it ends up collapsing, that you end up repelling that thing, because that's electromagnetism. We're all about electromagnetism. Quantum physics have shown that now. Neuroscience has proven that as well. Your energy is all that matters, and you're pushing those things away with your energy. Because once you get that intuitive idea, it means that you've already made it. It means that you're already there. And that's not what's required from you to apply your ego to figure out all of the bits and pieces to get there. That's not what's being asked. When you got that idea, when you received that calling, it's there, it's happened. What's required from you is to open yourself to that thing, to receiving that thing, and aligning yourself energetically, looking back into yourself, going back inside yourself until you feel so good about that thing, till you feel so easy about that thing, until it feels like it's coming to you, you're pulling it to you rather than running behind it. And that's when things actually come. Every time, before you attract something, before you manifest something in your reality, it feels so easy, it feels so good going into it, because you're not running behind it, you're not in pursuit any longer, but it's coming to you, and you can feel its energy, you can feel its presence. And how do you do that? You do that by opening yourself. How do you open yourself? You see what that thing is, and you do whatever feels good to you. Because with that intuitive idea, you're gonna keep receiving surges in your energy that comes with some sort of data or downloads that tells you, okay, perhaps this feels bad. It feels bad to do this. It feels wrong to do that. And that's not aligned with that vision, with that future you've been called to. This feels good, then go for it. If that does not feel good, if that makes you feel bad or guilty, then avoid that, or make peace with it, or resolve that conflict, the contrast that you have been programmed to assign between this thing, whatever that thing that makes you feel guilty, and that future vision. You know, it's either between your own relationship with that thing that feels bad, or your own relationship with whatever future vision. And you have both options. You could decide, either deal with it from this aspect, from this perspective, or from that one. But don't try and force anything. What you've been called to intuitively, you've already deserved it. You've already earned it. You don't have to force. It's meant to come to you effortlessly, not forcefully. So let go of all of the resistance. You know, everything that you feel, the fear that you feel, all the fear that you feel, all of the frustration, all of the madness, all of the anger, all of the resentment, all of the hatred, is because you are resisting something. You are holding dearly onto something that's not meant to be there. You're holding tightly onto something, on your control, on your distrust. When life gives you those ideas, when you get there and you awaken one day with this vision for the future that came out of nowhere, that was nothing like you ever thought like. It was a different perspective, a different approach to life. When you wake up with this in your mind suddenly, you are required to trust. If you're never trusting that person that gives you something, they tell you, take this gift, it's nice, but you're like, really, is it gonna harm me? Is there something hidden in it? Are you trying to set me up? Or is this you're always in this trust. But in order to receive, you have to trust life. You have to trust that whatever it's giving you, it's good. And if it's asking you to let go of control now, to surrender your ego, to surrender your need to control everything with your ego, then you have to open yourself. That's how you open yourself. And you align. As part one, do the things that feel good with that reality, with that grand intention already in the back of your mind, already deep in your subconscious, already being attracted and pulled towards you. Do the things that feel good when that's in your mind, when you have already that grand intention, because your intuition is going to keep guiding you, and it's going to keep giving you, if there's something that's required from you to take a physical step, an action, an effort you have to put in place, it's going to come to you intuitively, and you're going to receive a surge in your energy to work it out, to make it work out, to make it happen, to take that action. But if you take even that action, even later on in later stages, if you take that action that you were meant to do, if you take that step that you were meant to take, and you start, adding your own whatever to it, your own soup of things to it, your own mixture, your own flavor, your own spices, which are inorganic at this point in this scenario, then you mess it up, and it becomes another forceful something, and it's no longer that thing, and you lose your surge of energy trying to figure it out and trying to play with it, and you apply that energy, you utilize that energy towards that, and you waste your energy, and then it's harder to even take that step, even if you're not gonna apply your own soup to it, even if you just overthought about it, because you're not in trust. So you have to open yourself up to that thing, to life. Surrender control, surrender your ego. The ego is not meant to is not designed to figure out all of those things. It's not designed to control and to know the how and the when. The ego is simply an assistive tool. Your truth, your most authentic version is spiritual in nature, is energetic in nature. So once you open yourself up to that, it starts getting pulled stronger and stronger to you. Now, everything that all the resistance that you are experiencing, all of the fear, like I was saying, is by nature resistance to an aspect of you, to something you fear, to something that's life is trying to direct you towards. So the more you reject this guidance and you hold on tightly to this comfort zone, to this programming, to these conditions, to those limitations, the more you are rejecting life's assistance, the universe energy. You're resisting the collective, you're rejecting the collective energy, creation energy, to work out things in your favor. to work magic for you, to conspire in your favor. The more you yield in and you let things take its place and you let everything take its course, you open yourself up for more and more, and then things start happening. Everything starts working out for you as is planned. But you have to let go of that control. You have to surrender. You have to trust in the process. And that's when whatever you seeks you back. Because that's how, in truth, things are supposed to work out. In nature, things are supposed to work out. You receive that intuition, you've already made it. Now you just align yourself step by step and you open yourself up to that thing. You align yourself, you open yourself up, you get there. Don't let yourself remain stuck for any longer. And don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on life. Don't give up on your vision. It's gonna happen, even if it's after 20 years, even if it's after 10 years. Your journey was tailored to your own specific preferences, to what will work out for you. Never indulge in comparison. Never indulge in overthinking even. You've been called and it feels good. And what feels good, the path to it will also feel good. It does not have to be a struggle. Most people will tell you it's a struggle because that's what most people do. That's what we mostly get stuck in. That's how my journey had worked out that way. I've mostly been in resistance. I've mostly been in rejection because my fears, because my ego wants it that way, because my survival mechanism is leading me, because my coping mechanisms are making me indulge in whatever feels bad, although it feels bad, because it's a coping mechanism to me. And it kept happening that way. You then realize one thing and you try and let go. You open yourself up and you try to not taint it, and it works out magically. And you find that the energies are lifting you and they conspire in your favor, and you're being pulled. That thing is being pulled towards you, and you feel its presence, and it feels good, and more positivity and more good feelings harbor more goodness. And you're gonna keep feeling good, and you're gonna keep attracting more, and your life will work out for you. And at this point, you are an infinite creator. You've opened yourself up, and that will keep getting you more and more ideas. That person, the universe, you will signal life, the universe, the divine, that I am ready to receive, that I'm receiving regardless, that I have no kinks and thinks and hiccups here and there that I'm gonna struggle with, that I'm gonna reject your offering, that I'm gonna resist whatever, that I'm gonna do this and that. You're not in that any longer, but I'm rather open. I can receive as much blessings as possible, and that's when you receive them, and that's why it feels good. And that's when you're a conscious manifester. Whatever you seek, the moment you awaken to an idea, you open yourself up, you know that you're already there, you know that you don't have to struggle and suffer and figure it all out, because it's already figured out and it's already here, and it happens. And so you're ready to receive it, you're open, and you're aligning yourself energetically, and it happens. So life will never really invite you to go and figure out things. Life does not, the universe does not work this way. It will not invite you to figure out this, to understand that. It won't require you to understand something for it to work out for you, to go figure out the how and the when, because not everyone can do those things, but everyone deserves whatever they desire. But life will invite you to raise your frequency. Life will invite you, life will give you an idea, it will call on you, and it will invite you to raise your frequency, to align yourself with that thing, to just open yourself up to receiving, to open yourself all in to receiving that thing. By how? By trusting that it's working out in your favor, that it's working out for you, and by doing what feels good to get there. Doing what feels in alignment with that thing, indulging only in those things and feeling good about it, and continue feeling good about it, and just letting go. If you're required to surrender some aspect, just surrender it. That's what life invites you to. So stop putting all of those unnecessary conditions and limitations on life, because you're only limiting yourself. You're only blocking life, limiting life to what it could offer you. Because you're telling life, I'm limited by this aspect. I need to control this thing. I cannot let go of that thing. I cannot adopt this new whatever. I cannot do this. So now you have a big bubble around you that life can only offer you things within the limitations of this bubble. And so the more conditions you put in life, this has to work that way, that has to go that way, that cannot happen, this can happen, this whatever, the more you're going to be limiting yourself. The more you're going to be cutting short your potential, and that's how you get stuck. That's how you struggle the most. But I know that you're here and you're open and you're ready to receiving. So go all in. So go trust yourself, trust life, trust God. Trust. Try it. Let go of control and try it. Surrender. Try it. Just like you surrender to your breath, try it. It's amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video by AfsConsciousFrequency. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me so much and it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it.